Welcome to the model room. Thanks for visiting. And thanks to all of you who tuned into my first video last week. I appreciate that very much. And especially those of you who subscribed. I have subscribers now. So I'm very grateful for that. Also, extra thanks to Dave from Woody's Scale Model Garage. He sent a ton of people over to watch that video, and a lot of them subscribed. So Dave, I really appreciate that. And when we go to Liars, lunch is on me. Okay. One of the things I learned from that video, though, is that brevity is your friend in YouTube. So this video is going to be less than half the length of that one. I'm going to cut through it pretty quickly, and I'm going to try and be more efficient in my presentation. Having said that, let me just give you one quick technical update. One of the comments that I got last time was on the letterboxing in my videos. That's the black band at the top and bottom of the video. I'm working on that. I didn't know anything about aspect ratio when I started out, but I am finding out about it, and I'm going to work on that hopefully by the next video. That'll be cured. Okay, let's get started. Well, at the bench now, and yeah, you can see that I got the orange matte. I like it a lot. It's very flexible. It's silicone. It's got these neat little pockets here. Got some magnets in there. I don't really use them. It's a little bigger than the green one I had, so I'm really enjoying working with this. I don't know if you can tell. There's a little bit of a dark stain right here. I had brought out some modeler's putty. It's like silly putty, only it's black. I don't see where it is now, so I can't show you, but I will in a future video. Unfortunately, it's like silicone on silicone. For some reason, it's stuck, and I had to scrape this up and wash it. It has a little bit of a stain still left there. It's okay. It's still fully functional. Here's the Revell Porsche that I was working on last time. It is in color coat now. I painted it with the Anita's acrylic, this stuff, which I like a lot. I know I gushed about it a lot on the last video, but it's wonderful stuff. And I'll tell you, it went down beautifully. I've painted this several times now. I had to paint and strip, but the color coat was always good. And it lays down beautifully. It is matte. This is 2 coats. That's all it took. And it covered up very nicely. When I did the hood, it looked to me like it was getting a little ripply. And I thought, oh, no, I've used too much. I'm going to have to rub it out. I hate that. But it turned out okay. When it dried, it just snugged right down on the model and came out very smooth. This is wonderful stuff. I really like it. In fact, I went online and I found some more of this stuff in colors that would lend themselves to models. And so, I don't know, about 7 or 8 more little bottles of this. I was thinking about clearing this, and I wasn't quite sure what to use, and I thought maybe I will use Future, because I have some Future from years ago. I actually painted, or not painted, but coated this model in Future, and as you can see, it is very shiny. It looks really nice. It looks like a car that got a really good wax job from the owner. This is to my Rattle Can Red, and I think the Future went on it very nicely, and it just worked out well. I got out the bottle of Future, and here it is. I don't think it's showing up here. I don't know. The Future has yellowed. It's very old. I don't know, when did Future turn into Pledge? Whenever it was, I think it probably goes back 10 years or so, maybe even more. Over time, this has gotten yellow. Now, you can still buy this stuff online. There are, people that are going to sell it. They want stupid money for it, like, $60, $70. I saw one was $129. Frankly, I wouldn't take a chance on it because you don't know if you're going to buy one that has turned yellow or is about to turn yellow in the next 6 months or whatever. So unfortunately, that killed the plan for this. I'm saving it, I don't know, for a yellow car that I build, or maybe another red one. I don't know. Certainly wouldn't put it on white. I'm not putting it on this. I'm thinking about Createx. That's a water-based clear, and it is it's good stuff. So I'll give this another look and show you when we get it cleared off. Here's the engine. The engine, as you might remember from the last video, I was a little bit put out because I had beaten it up a little bit. I thought it looked kind of crummy. I wasn't going to touch it up. I thought that's the way engines are. In fact, I did touch it up a little bit. I used some silver on it just to kind of gloss out some of the little schmutzes that got on it. And I used this stuff. This is Display acrylic paint markers. And I really like this. The silver that I used is not exactly chrome, but it is very silvery. It looks kind of like Tester's silver chrome paint. And if you dab it on instead of brushing it back and forth, it retains that look. So that's pretty good. These are very, very pointy. They're very fine on the end. You can get in to very small spaces with them. And they're acrylic paints instead of inks, so they did go on a little thin, maybe 2 coats, and 2 coats gets it, and it looks terrific. I like them a lot. I'm going to use them very often, I'm sure, and I already have on this build. So hopefully that will benefit my building in the future. I want to do something with the transmission. I got that on, and it's too chromy for this look. This engine now is not particularly chromed. It's a little shiny. Obviously, it's silver, but this stands out too much. I probably just hit it with some dull coat, very late coat, and that will be that. The other thing I use the pens for, they have a gold pen. I had painted these wheels. I wanted them to have gold spokes. I painted them with Tester's gold paint. It was very thin, and I thought it was almost like you could see the silver through the gold. You weren't really picking it up very well. The paint in this pen is a little darker gold, but I think it came out really good, and I like them a lot, so I'm going to use them. And that is about the status of the bench at this point. Okay, more on that next time. And I know I said that I would do a painting segment in this video, but I think for the sake of time, I'm going to defer that to another episode, and we'll get to that shortly. Next up, I'm pulling something cool out of the vault. Here's something I pulled out of the stash recently. I've had it for a few years, and actually this art was going around on the internet maybe a couple of months ago. Facebook, I think it was, and people were like talking about this. Oh, wow, how neat, a fastback Camaro. That would be so cool. Designed by Keith Coucher, and he is a designer in California. There is a YouTube video of him being interviewed. Pretty neat interview. I'll put a link to it below. He started out as a kid building models. He talks quite a lot about model building and how much he liked it, and how it gave him an entree into designing cars as a career. He did at one point do Keith Coucher model kits in resin. This is one of them. I found it at NNL East. I know I talk about that a lot, but you know, there's so many vendors there. You're never going to go there and not come home with a bunch of good stuff. So I got this resin kit. Here's the body. It is a pretty cool body. I like it. This is a 68. You can tell because there's no vent windows. And he did a wonderful design. To me, this looks a little bit like the Cougar Fastback that was designed back in the day. This is a window. It's not a scoop or anything. There are rear windows included and a backlight included. It would be matched with, I guess, a kit. I have tape on this. It would be matched with a Revell kit, I would think. But it's a really neat model. It's well done. Very smooth resin. It's got a hood, and it's got a front valance. It's got an interior bucket. Here's the interior bucket. And they've added a little something back here because obviously you're going to sort of see it inside the backlight. And you know, you can match it up with that Revell kit. It's got a dashboard in here and a couple other little pieces. It is a really neat kit. Here's the back. You can put those 68 Camaro lights in there. The front, of course, you can do it as an RS or an SS or an SSRS, whatever you like, showing the headlights or not showing the headlights. Everything about this is nicely detailed. It's a very unique kind of thing. And I looked online to see if I could refer you to a place where you can buy Keith Coucher model resins. Sometimes they'll show up. I don't think he makes these anymore. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But you can't really get them for anything cheap if you can find one. Nonetheless, this is one. I like it. Want to build it someday, of course, but it's in line now with other models. Very cool. Finally, we're going to take a look back at the NNL Nationals. This month marks 5 years since the last event. I was there, and you all, I'm sure, know the history of the NNL. It started with 4 guys over 40 years ago who just got together to look at models and talk about models. They took a door off the hinges and laid it out in the garage. They had a great time and then started to repeat it. Well, that style of model event has just blossomed all over the country and really around the world for good reason. It's a lot of fun, and everybody enjoys that non-competitive type of event. Well, in 2019, they had what was called the Final Homecoming, and I was there. It was a great show, great to see all of our friends that we only see once in a while at model events. And the remarkable thing is that after that event, they had a nighttime event, and at that time, they had people bring in the models that they had built that were on the cover of magazines, especially Scale Auto Enthusiast, or were featured in articles, and they were laid out there with the article or cover they were from. I think it was the greatest assemblage of model cars ever. It was wonderful. I got pictures, and we're going to take a look at them. Here they are. So thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.